Hey! Today I wanted to talk about something really fundamental to branching, and that is universal routes. Universal routes are super important to being able to branch really well, which is why I put into the first of my Branching 101 videos. The reason universal routes are so important is because they are universal. You see, as I explained in an earlier video, every tree is the same tree. And universal routes take advantage of that fact. A universal route is entirely contained within a single tree, usually starting at the bottom of the tree. The reason these routes are so powerful is because you can learn a universal route on one tree, then do the same route on 18 other trees. So whenever you learn one universal route, you are essentially learning 19 routes at once. This all starts with a good understanding of the base tree. I used this small tree as an example because it is very isolated from the rest of the trees. Each tree has 12 branches, which are numbered 1 through 12 from bottom to top. Some important features of the base tree are the top of the tree, the fourth branch, which I call the double branch, and the first branch, which is where most of the universal routes start. It's important that you are able to easily spot the first branch because it will allow you to quickly orient yourself to the rotation of the tree. Now that we have that out of the way, I can show you all of the best universal routes. If you start from the first branch of the tree, you have a ton of directions to go. The route I showed in an earlier video was the 1-3-5, where you jump right to the third branch and then the fifth branch. This route is very good, but you can also jump left to the fourth branch. Then use the double branch to jump up to the 7th branch. Then I turn around and go to the 8th branch, then 11th branch. This is what it looks like at full speed. This whole route is great and all, but there's only one part of this route that I actually think is super important for people to learn, and that's the jump from the 4th branch to the 7th branch. I think it's super important because you can know whenever you see this double branch that you can always jump up to the 7th branch from it. Anyways, back to the first branch. Another option if you want to go left is to do the spiral route. This one works pretty well because you are consistently changing directions, which makes it really difficult for people to chase you. Now you might be able to do this much better than I can because I have to use smooth turn. I bet with some practice you could shoot up the tree using this method and really disorientate some lava monkeys. Now back to this first branch. The last route I want to show you from here is my favorite. Instead of choosing a direction and going left or right, you just ascend. Vic taught me that one, and I found it to be really interesting. I also found that you can do a similar kind of route on the other side of the tree. Starting from the ground, you can jump up to the second branch, and then from there do the same motion to jump off the base of the tree over and over again to reach the top. Both of these routes are very good for getting height if you're in a sticky situation. However, you have to watch out because this can be easy to predict, and any good monkey would sit at the top waiting for you. If you're just focused on getting height when you go up to a tree, then you can learn the pinch climbs for the base tree. You see, each tree has a square base with 4 corners. So if you want to know how to pinch climb trees, you just have to get good at pinch climbing starting at each of these 4 corners. I think the easiest corner to climb is the one right next to the 1 branch. But this pinch climb isn't very useful as you already have so many other routes that you can do from that branch. The next hardest corner is the one under the 4th branch, or the double branch, which requires you to thread the needle a bit at the end, but overall it's not that bad. The next hardest corner is the one under the 2nd branch. This corner has 2 branches directly in your path that are hard to get around. And the last corner, under the 3rd branch, is by far the hardest, but the most rewarding. Once you master all these pinch climbs, you can try a trick that I see a player called Pants do all the time. While pinch climbing, you can start to jump around the tree from corner to corner. This can allow you to avoid a lot of the obstacles on the tree and a lot of lava monkeys. And if you start at that same corner under the 3rd branch and start rotating to the right, you can pretty much avoid all of the branches and make it to the top. In the end, just learning 1 or 2 of these universal routes can massively improve your ability to freestyle and gorilla tag. Because knowing universal routes isn't about following rigid route plans, the point is to have options when running through the trees. Maybe you'll see that you go past a double branch all the time in your route, and maybe once or twice you can use it to jump up to the 7 branch. I think that the best thing that you can do is just to take 1 or 2 of the routes from this video and to try and apply it to every single tree on the map. It'll take a bit, but doing that will really broaden your horizons and allow you to really see the usefulness of all these different routes. Anyways, that's it for the video. Make sure that if you want more informational Gorilla Tag tutorials that you subscribe, because YouTube seems to like that. I don't know why.